Part 1. Hey Reddit, this is something I never thought I'd write, but I can't get it out of my head and I need a place to vent before I lose my mind. My 36-years-old wife, 34-years-old wife, let's call her Lena, and I have been married for 6 years. No kids. I've always thought we were solid. Sure, we've had our ups and downs like any couple, but I trusted her. Lately, Lena has been taking Ubers everywhere. At first, it was practical. Her car had some engine issue, and we decided to wait a bit before replacing it. But even after that got sorted, she kept using rideshares. Sometimes even for the smallest errands. She said it was just more relaxing, and she liked being chauffeured for once. I didn't think too much of it. She has anxiety about driving sometimes, and I didn't want to make her feel like I was controlling her. But I started noticing something odd. It was always the same driver. His name? David. I only know that because one time her phone was on the counter and lit up with a notification. Your trip with David has ended. I asked her about it and she casually brushed it off. Oh yeah, I just rate the same drivers high so they get me more often. It's safer that way. Sounded logical, but still, something about the way she said it, or didn't look me in the eye, rubbed me the wrong way. It got weirder when she started dressing up more just to go grocery shopping, or get her nails done. Bright lipstick, heels, perfume. Even when she'd come home, I swear she looked too flustered for someone who just went to the salon. I asked her once, jokingly, trying to seduce the Uber driver or what? She laughed a bit too hard and said, please. That guy? He wishes. Except now, I'm not so sure anymore. Part 2. So, I started getting suspicious. I wasn't proud of it, but I did a little digging. Nothing crazy. Just checked her Uber history when she left her phone on the couch. Every other ride? David. Same guy. Same damn profile pic. Sometimes even late at night when she said she was just going for a walk to clear her head. And here's the kicker. Some of those rides didn't end at a destination. They'd last 45 minutes. An hour. Then come right back to our street. What kind of Uber ride just loops? When I confronted Lena about it, she lost her mind. I asked, hey, why is David driving you everywhere? What's going on? She flipped the switch instantly. You're spying on me now? Seriously? I can't believe you're accusing me of something just because I prefer one driver. I said, I just want to know why the rides are so long if you're just going to the store. Her voice went from angry to shrill in seconds. Maybe I asked him to take the scenic route. Maybe I don't like being interrogated like I'm on trial every time I step outside. Then the waterworks. Full-blown meltdown, screaming about how I don't trust her, how she's tired of being treated like a criminal, and how she just needs space to breathe. I felt like I was the crazy one. She was twisting every question into an attack, gaslighting me like it was my fault for wondering why my wife spends more time with a stranger in a car than she does with me. After that night, she started hiding her phone more, changed her password, put on her do not disturb mode during dinner. My gut was screaming at me that something was off, so I decided to find out for myself. Part 3. Okay, buckle up. After that huge argument, Lena started being extra fake nice, making breakfast, bringing me coffee, smiling too much, laughing at jokes she never found funny before. You know when someone's trying way too hard to pretend nothing's wrong? That was her, but her eyes? Cold, distant, almost like she was performing. So I did something I never thought I would. I took a day off from work and didn't tell her. That morning, she said she had an early appointment and was going to the nail salon. She dressed in a tight black skirt, low-cut top, heels, and curled her hair. All that just to get her nails done? Come on. I waited 10 minutes after she left, then followed. She turned the corner, and like clockwork, David's car pulled up. Same silver Toyota Camry. She got in fast, like she was avoiding being seen. They didn't head toward the salon. They just drove around. I tailed them, not close enough to be obvious, but enough to keep up. At first, I thought maybe they were just driving. But then they parked, not at a house, not a store, a dead-end street near a construction site. Secluded. I pulled over a block away and walked quietly toward them through the trees lining the lot. And what I saw, her, in the backseat, straddling him, making out like a damn teenager. Her legs wrapped around him. His hands, everywhere. I froze, couldn't move. I think I stopped breathing. I wanted to scream, or tear the door off that car. But instead, I just turned around, got in my car, and drove home. I felt like someone had ripped a hole in my chest. The woman I thought I knew was screwing some Uber driver in the back of his car like it was nothing. And she lied to my face. Over and over. I didn't say a word that night. She came home hours later, smelling like cheap cologne and spearmint gum, said her appointment took forever, and passed out like nothing happened. I didn't sleep. Part 4. The next morning, I was numb. Lena was humming in the kitchen like nothing happened. She made pancakes, poured coffee, kissed me on the cheek. I wanted to throw the plate across the room. But I didn't. I played along. I needed time to think. To plan. If she could lie so easily, so confidently, what else was she hiding? So I started collecting proof. I installed a camera in the corner of our front window, disguised behind some books on a shelf. Nothing fancy, just enough to catch video of when she got picked up and came back. I also pulled our shared bank account data and found 3 Venmo transfers to someone named DT, each labeled with stupid emojis like in. I looked up her nail salon, she hadn't been there in weeks. Then, something weird happened. One night around 11 p.m., she said she was going to get ice cream. I knew it was a lie. David's car had pulled up 5 minutes before that. I peeked through the curtains and sure enough, she hopped in wearing that same leather jacket she only wears when she wants attention. I waited 10 minutes, then 20, then I drove. I didn't find them on the usual streets. This time, they were parked outside a cheap motel on the edge of town. A motel. I parked behind a dumpster and watched them stumble into room 107. She was giggling, holding onto his arm like a drunk teenager on prom night. I took pictures, not because I wanted to, God, I didn't, but because I knew she would try to deny everything if I confronted her. I needed undeniable proof, and sure enough, the next morning, I asked her casually, "Did you get that ice cream?" She blinked once, then smiled. "Yeah, I got mint chip. Sorry I didn't bring you any. The line was long and I just wanted to come home." That lie was so casual it made my blood run cold. I realized right then, I wasn't dealing with someone who made a mistake. I was dealing with someone who could lie to my face without blinking. Part 5. Alright, so now I had everything, photos, video, transactions, and enough lies from her to write a novel. But I still wasn't sure what to do. Divorce felt obvious, but something in me needed to hear her admit it. I wanted her to say it, to finally drop the mask. So I planned it. I asked her if she wanted to go out for dinner on Saturday. Just the two of us. I told her I missed her. Wanted to reconnect. She ate it up, wore that same red dress she always used to wear when we were dating, like she thought she was winning me back. Dinner was quiet. She kept looking at her phone, smiling at nothing. At one point she went to the bathroom and I saw the screen light up. "Can't wait for later, D." I didn't say a word. When we got home, I told her I was tired and went straight to the guest room. Locked the door. She didn't question it. She was already texting under the covers when I walked out. The next morning, Sunday, I told her I had to run errands. Instead, I parked across the street and waited. Right on cue, David's car rolled up. She came out wearing yoga pants and a hoodie, looking like she was going to the gym. She wasn't. They drove off. I followed. They didn't even go far this time. They pulled into a car wash with those covered vacuum bays, mostly empty. David reversed into the corner stall. I parked and crept around the side, phone in hand, video rolling. Inside? Yep, her on top of him again. Shirt off, windows fogged, but this time, I walked up, banged on the window, and said, "Smile." She screamed. David tried to shove her off, but she slipped and hit her head on the door. It was chaos. I didn't stick around. I just walked back to my car. Calm, shaking, but calm. 15 minutes later, she called me 11 times. Then texted. "It's not what it looked like. I was going to tell you. It was just one time. I need to talk. Please don't do anything rash. He doesn't mean anything to me. You're overreacting. Don't blow this up, please." One time? Really? One time? When I had weeks of evidence. That night, I packed a bag and went to stay with my brother. She showed up 2 hours later, banging on the door, screaming, crying, performing. She said she was lonely, that she needed attention, that it just happened, and she never meant to hurt me. When I told her I already filed for divorce that morning, she lost it. Part 6. When I told Lena I filed for divorce, she went full nuclear. She started screaming loud enough for the neighbors to come out, accused me of cheating, said I was gaslighting her, that I was emotionally abusive, and trying to ruin her life. My brother had to tell her to leave or he'd call the cops. She left, but not quietly. She slammed her car door, peeled off, and later that night posted some sob story on Facebook about how she wasn't perfect but deserved love, with some fake inspirational quote and a crying selfie. Her mom liked it, so did 3 of her friends who always low-key hated me. Then came the texts. Non-stop, walls of text. "I made a mistake. You're really going to throw everything away? You don't even care about saving this?" He meant nothing to me. I was bored, that's all. Fine, be a coward and run. You'll regret this when you're alone in that cold apartment. What killed me wasn't the cheating, it was how easily she flipped the narrative. Like I was the villain for catching her. The next day, David messaged me. Yeah, he messaged me. Part 7. So yeah, David messaged me, out of nowhere. He found me on Facebook, didn't even realize my profile was public, and sent a long-ass message trying to clear the air. Here's the gist of what he said. "Hey man, I just wanted to say I didn't mean for things to happen the way they did. Lena told me you two were basically separated and that she was staying with a friend. I thought she was single. I never would have done anything if I knew you two were still together. You believe that? He also said she told him I was emotionally distant, cold, and barely touched her for months. This woman rewrote history just to justify screwing around in a stranger's backseat. She painted me as some depressed zombie husband so she could feel better about what she was doing. I didn't even reply to David. What was the point? But then he added something interesting. For what it's worth, I broke it off with her. She got obsessive, started texting me constantly, showing up at my apartment. I think she told you something different. Of course she did, so I went back through her messages. Yep, she claimed he was the one who kept texting her. That he was infatuated, and she was trying to pull away. Just another lie. Now she was spiraling. She texted me the next night telling me she was sick and couldn't sleep without me. That she was seeing a therapist. That she wanted to fix herself. Then she dropped the bomb. If you divorce me, I'll make sure everyone thinks it's because you couldn't satisfy me. That was it. I blocked her number. She crossed the line and made it clear that she wasn't sorry. She was just sorry she got caught. Part 8. After I blocked Lena, I thought that would be the end of it. Wrong. She started showing up at my job. Just walked into the lobby like it was normal and told the receptionist she was dropping off lunch. I hadn't spoken to her in 3 days. Security had to escort her out after she started crying and yelling that I was destroying our marriage over one mistake. She made sure there was a scene. A couple of coworkers asked me later if everything was okay. I just said we were going through something. But it didn't stop there. The next morning, I woke up to 50+ messages from unknown numbers. Turns out Lena had been feeding her side of the story to anyone who would listen, mutual friends, her family, even my family. She told them I'd become paranoid, that I was tracking her like a stalker, and that I attacked some poor Uber driver out of jealousy. She made it sound like David was the victim. I finally sent a mass message to everyone who had reached out. I didn't go into graphic detail, just said I had undeniable proof of what she did and that I wouldn't be discussing it further. If they wanted to believe her version, fine, but I wasn't playing games. A few people apologized, a few went silent. Her best friend, though? She messaged me separately and said, honestly, I always thought something was off. She used to brag about how easy it was to lie to you. I never thought it would go this far. I sat with that message for a long time. She bragged about lying to me. At that point, it wasn't heartbreak I felt anymore, it was relief. Like I had just dodged a goddamn missile. Meanwhile, Lena kept trying to contact me. She started writing letters. Yes, actual handwritten letters. One showed up taped to the door of my apartment. You can't just erase me like this. I was your wife. You don't get to ghost me like some Tinder date. The entitlement was unbelievable. I was done. Divorce papers had been filed. And I was keeping every piece of evidence in case she tried to pull anything during the process. But then, just when I thought the drama was dying down, I got a call from David. Again, only this time? He sounded scared. Part 9. So David called me, and he sounded panicked. First thing he said was, man, I'm sorry to call again, but I didn't know who else to talk to. She's not okay. I sat down immediately. He tells me Lena had shown up at his apartment, uninvited, banging on the door at 2 a.m. She was crying, saying she left her husband for him, and he owed her something. Apparently, she tried to force her way inside. David's roommate threatened to call the cops, and she finally left, but not before keying his car. Yes, you read that right. She keyed the guy's car who she cheated on me with. Said he used her. She then sent him like 30 texts in a row, including, you're just like him. A coward. I left everything for you. Now you treat me like trash? I should have never wasted my time on either of you. He blocked her. The next day, she posted a long Instagram story about being betrayed by 2 toxic men who manipulated her into thinking she was the problem. She added a crying video, then a picture of a wine glass with the caption, healing. It would have been funny if it wasn't so pathetic. David said he was going to report her to the police if she came back. I told him I supported that fully. But here's the craziest part. I think she believed we were both going to come crawling back to her. Like she was the victim of 2 cowards who couldn't handle a strong, passionate woman. Meanwhile, my lawyer finalized the divorce filing. I was mentally done. No more playing therapist, husband, or punching bag for someone who never respected me. But just when I thought this thing had burned out, she did something completely insane. Final part. So, here it is, the grand finale. A few days after David warned me, I thought the storm had passed. No new messages, no crazy letters on my door, no drama. Then one night, around 1 a.m., I got a call from my building manager. Lena had been caught on the security camera trying to sneak into my apartment building using a stolen key fob she had copied months ago. Yes, copied. She told the security guy she just needed to get her charger, and that we were working things out. I hadn't spoken to her in weeks. They didn't let her in. But she snapped, started shouting in the lobby, cried, collapsed on the floor, screamed that I abandoned her, and that she was going to ruin my life like I ruined hers. Cops were called. They didn't arrest her, but they made it very clear she was not welcome. I filed for a restraining order the next day. My lawyer? She was shocked but not surprised. Said cases like this always start with cheating, then escalate when the person realizes they've lost control. Lena tried messaging my mother after that. Told her I was being cruel and destroying a beautiful love story over a mistake. My mom didn't respond. She'd seen the screenshots. The divorce was finalized last week. I didn't go to the final meeting. My lawyer handled it. I didn't need to see her. I didn't want to. She still tried texting me once more, "You'll miss me someday. And I won't be there when you do." I didn't reply. I blocked the number, for good this time. It's quiet now. No more fake smiles. No more lies. No more late night Ubers to nowhere. I'm finally sleeping again, eating again, breathing again. I don't know what Lena's doing now. I don't care. Maybe she's tormenting some other poor soul. Maybe she's still telling the same story about the cold husband and the Uber driver who used her. Let her, because I'm done being part of it. This is closure. Thanks for reading, Reddit.